that's one thing to be wary of when the passing from medical to recreational is being realistic about what the new consumer market looks like, because basically everyone just expected that everyone who's drinking Chardonnay was going to become a vape pen or joint smoking consumer. And we wound up with a lot more companies, so way over competition. And then on top of that, over taxation, over regulation, our consumers who were patients first. This industry was built on the back of medical patients who became consumers that are honestly being left behind when things switch from medical to recreational, because everything suddenly becomes literally a third, if not like 40% more. And so and that's just with the taxes, right? And then because what we have is a distribution tax or a cultivation tax, distribution excise, then of course, state, local. And then on top of that, the cost of operating being, just way too high. So then a lot of patients who identify as medical, they really don't, or they're still shopping in a recreational market. And so, have a hard time affording their medicine. And thus, a lot of these people have gone back to the traditional market. So that's what we're seeing here in California. And so I think when I look at a state like Florida, which is so different because it's all verticals, it's also extremely cost prohibitive to even enter the market there. I heard it's $1 million a year license renewal fee, which funny enough, people in California say, well, I'd pay that if I was one of the only licenses like they are there in Florida. So I think the best lesson from California is don't pass an imperfect bill. Really, like I know you guys have tried to pass rec down there before and it hasn't gone through, and that's honestly a good thing, because I believe that bill was really flawed. Because what happened with ours is we thought we had it right with the bill, and they thought they had protections for small farmers and a 1 acre cap and all of these things. And then, some clever lobbyists and groups were able to find ways around that and get that kind of removed at the last minute. And that's what led to stacking licenses and a lot bigger operators. And now where we are today, I mean, some lobby groups have had success getting taxes lowered or removed. And so the fight is still going on to try to fix the broken bill. But as I can realize, it's 7 years in now. It passed in 2016. It went into effect in 2018. We're in 2023 and industry collapsing. I think, to avoid that, just really try to make sure the bill, fine tooth comb it, read through everything in it, and, stay on it until it goes through. Like, don't let any backdoor deals go on.
Yeah. I think Colorado apparently has done a pretty decent job with it. It seems to have been going pretty well there. I mean, I haven't really heard anything bad about it there, but I know that it's been disastrous in California for small business. Like, I know that. Like, it's just not even, it's just a pointless venture.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be the CMO of a company, a beautiful brand, Doc Greens, Berkeley-based. They were legacy topical makers, not even a psychoactive product, from 2009 to 2018. I came on board. I rebranded and helped relaunch this legacy brand to great success in 2019. Last year, that company won the Emerald Cup. And by the time Doc Greens won the award, they were already not operating. And that's just one story when there's so many like that. So again, this is a legacy group with over 10 years, also award winning. So its quality is not an issue. And they did have some investment. That company just couldn't make it. I built my career working with legacy craft, small farmers and brands, and a lot of women and minority owned companies. And in my opinion, a lot of these companies do have the best products, but they are struggling to survive, honestly. So it's really tough. And as hard as it is for all the small businesses, which is really, really tough, just look at how the largest cannabis company in the whole world, Curaleaf, they couldn't even make it in California or Oregon or Colorado, right? So I think on the flip, we care and want to talk about small business, but I think when a large conglomerate like that, who has like Russian oligarch money or whatever they say, can't even survive or make it, I think that's something to be noted. And I know Florida is all MSOs, like there's really no craft or medical. Is that right? Is there even social equity or anything?
You know what? I am not even entirely sure. It's only medicinal here. I do recall
There's
the
a
bill.
lot of home growers.
There are, like, it exists, but I mean, yeah, you might be able to talk better about that, James. And that's the other thing, is that as somebody whose business is also media, you're in a similar position that we are. You're not a small, your business is your media, right?
Yeah, I promote my own business, and my business model is promote everyone else's business in the process of doing my own. So I try to travel. I started out just doing shows, and that's how I got into this business, and I loved it. The energy of the people, no one's frowning, everybody's smiling, you're going around and everybody's happy. No one's upset at a cannabis festival or a concert. And it's just, that's why I'm doing this. I put everything, I sold my boat, my motorcycle, I'm selling everything. And I just bought a brand new concession trailer with 2 4x8 windows that open up. So I'm going to be traveling even more. It's going to be, I'm giving it everything I have.
You're going to be doing like streaming from the road. Like,
yeah, I'm also filming other people, and I'm going to have like time lapses and things like I did at Canadelic. You see now I had the gravity bong and I was flipping it and I was letting people smoke it and things like that.
How was that for you?
It was great, but it got me sick. Like dealing with that many people and like the hose and everything. Like I was sick for 3 days and just like dealing with that many. It was a lot. I still haven't posted all that footage, but I definitely got to do a little different next time. No hose and nobody touches it, and they just like breathe the smoke in. But I didn't really take that into the effect with the whole COVID, and you gotta be smart about it.
And I
no
love
contact.
it. I love what you're doing. And of course we'll promote, and I'd love to like touch base with you periodically from the road. Like,
Sure.
we could definitely have a check-in with High Adventures if you come across something cool or interesting out there and you want to like share.
That's what I'm all about, new products and showing people.
Yeah.
I like to test it so you don't have to waste your money if you don't want it. And that's another one of my things that got me into it is but who else does that? Who else goes to shows and films other small businesses and promotes them, tags them, and does it for free just because it's also self-beneficial, and I like to show the good businesses as well. So like I was like, no one else is doing it. I've been to 6 shows, no one else is doing it. And then I was like, well, I need to start making money, so let's make a business too and sell all the things that I've been going to all these shows and I'm seeing what everybody's not selling and I want, right? So then it's buy all that. Carry everything that some people want that nobody's carrying. So I was really a spy for myself without knowing about it, going to shows for like 6 months and doing that. I have all my own footage to see what everybody's not carrying, like bangers and things for less than $50 that make things spin and whatnot. Like I got $2,000 worth of that stuff. I went to Dab Days. Did you guys go to 710 Dab Days?
No.
Anybody?
No. And I know what you're talking about, but where we live, what is it? Is it the Delta 8?
For that stuff, no. I'm only about THC. I don't really promote the Delta 8 and stuff. The only ones that are kind of okay, like the HAC and the THCO, but I try to stay away from those because at any time they could make them illegal. And then you have products, so you're trying to promote people, and now it's illegal, and now you know what I mean. So I try to stay away from those. I just like the THC myself.
Yeah, I know, but we're not in the legal realm yet. It's just not, it's not in, we're still not
You
legal.
can go on Facebook on like grower groups and stuff, and they're literally like open about it. You can literally see people posting everything like it's nothing in Florida growing groups. I mean, it's out there and nobody cares.
More importantly, Alexi, I need to know about your lady smoking events, because when you were describing that, I'm like, wait, I live down here. I've never been invited to a lady cannabis event.
Yeah, I'm going to let you know. We have another one coming in sometime April. We're trying to get it. I think the hardest thing that we're realizing is the venues. In the last 2 years, we've had a handful of events, and the struggle that we have is getting the venues and then letting the venues know what we have going on. The last event we did was actually in Orlando. It was a ranch, beautiful ranch, lots of land. It was an outside event. We had DJs, we have vendors that are in the community as well, 420 friendly. But as soon as we started doing the contest, where we're like rolling contests or the smoking contest, the owner came to like watch what was going on. And being that it is a ladies event, our securities are ladies, everything that we have involved being ladies. And as soon as they saw guys and the guys security, a lot of people were like, hey, what's going on? What is this? What's happening? And we had to kind of let him know, like, he knew when we signed all the paperwork and what was going on, but I think seeing it, it was hard for him to be like, Is this something that I want my venue being connected to? And we find that a lot where it's like, we'll do the event. And then after the event, they're like, I don't know if we're going to do this again because this is still not completely legal out here.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find those, but we've had so much traction. We have a lot of women supporting women kind of thing. And I think because it is a ladies only event, as women, we feel a lot more comfortable going and hanging out and supporting the venues and supporting the vendors and doing those things. Because I've been to a handful of just 420 events in general. And when it is kind of male dominated, it's a little bit more intimidating. It's a lot more competition. It's crazy. Like, I still try to wrap my head around the fact that they have like pounds of different kind of strains on the table. And you're like, where are we living? How is this even possible? But when it's co-ed, we get a lot of that, like machismo, men wanting to overpower other. When it's women, it's just kind of super laid back. So we do have another one coming up in April. You'll probably see me promote it. I'll definitely invite you to it and let you know. But I think the hardest thing that we're trying to get over right now is either purchasing a venue for ourselves or finding a venue that will consistently want to work with us and are okay with us like smoking and dabbing and having vendors and doing performances and having all these things that are 420 friendly. Because it's like you said, every 420 event I go to, people are in a good mood. Everyone wants to network. Everyone wants to socialize. No one is kind of like overpowering or anything like that, where I'm not a big drinker. I like to smoke more. So when I go to those kind of events where there's like open bars, people get a little crazy is what I like to call it. They get a little extra loose. Yeah. They get a little, a little more in there.
For people that aren't drinking, it's kind of,
calm down. I feel like, well, relax. Where I'm super laid back. I like my smoking events. We have all kinds of things. We've had different contests, different vendors, and it's really nice to see just kind of the community come together. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of these events are allowing people to kind of open their minds up to, is like, oh, this is something normal now.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.